I don't know why we're having this discussion. Why are we having this discussion?
What? Huh? Is this how we started? This we gonna start arguing?
Right, we're just gonna start arguing. Why? I don't know. Why are we having what? Why? What?
Man.
Huh?
See, that's why we can't rise together as people.
That's why we can't all just get along.
We can't at all.
Hey, Dommy, we are back. And we are back.
Are we back?
Are you in trouble? You're in trouble, aren't you? You in trouble. You in trouble.
Don Pablo's in
trouble. He's in trouble. Hey, what's up, Tamika? Hey, Lynn, how you guys doing? Welcome back. We let me see if my phone will let me in.
Right, as we over here.
We just over here chit chatting, y'all.
Apparently, technical. Oh, well, I guess you're back on.
I am back. Yeah, what's up?
You know, as we start off every show, I guess we're gonna start every show with technical difficulty.
Yeah, we do. But this is Really Bitch. We are back. Really Bitch, the podcast, and we are back, you guys.
Oh, hey P.O. She's saying hey from upstairs.
Hey P.O. Hey girl. Hey girl. Hey. Hey girl. Hey. How you doing, girl? Yeah. So we're gonna let Face start the conversation.
You should have been here to defend me on the first show.
No.
Never mind, just playing. Oh, this is gonna be good.
Hey Teddy, hey girl.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Woo! So we're gonna let Face start off because we were having a good conversation offline while we were waiting to reboot and everything. Face is Jay the Nerd back in here because Face is a big comic fan person, so he's getting ready to explain to us what's going on with Marvel and how Spider-Man is out, right? No? Yes? Maybe?
Yeah, well...
Did I get that right? Okay.
Good. Close enough.
Okay,
cool. No,
Teddy, you go ahead and do you. We'll be here.
So...
Oh, wow. Patching your concrete.
Basically, during the discussions between... Sony and Marvel for the next phase, Spider-Man's out, supposedly. Like,
and is why? Was it money? Like, what was why Spider-Man out? Was she pissed about Lil Baby about Spider-Man being out or something else?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Because it's like, I mean, like negotiations for the terms, whatever, all broke down, and Marvel wanted more control over the character.
And that's why we have like 50 million Spider-Man movies.
Yes, well, we have 50 million Spider-Man movies because once upon a time.
Not long ago.
Spider-Man crossed a lot. We
gonna see it again. Well, y'all remember once upon a time Marvel wasn't doing well, so that's how they sold off. That's why Fantastic Four is trash. That's why I'm just saying. That's why the X-Men is something else other than what we know.
Right.
So all of that.
Halle Berry is an Amazon.
They went through all of that.
That was a good idea.
And then when the MCU started, that's why the MCU started the way it did, Heroes the way it did, because all the other parts were sold by somebody else.
Hey, his wife.
So now that I guess it seems to me, this is my own personal opinion. It seems now that
I know your own words.
Sony made $1 billion from the last Spider-Man movie.
So Sony had the rights to Spider-Man.
Hey, nerd back in.
Hey Jada, we're talking Marvel, Spider-Man, all that stuff. I figured this is kind of up your alley, but if I'm wrong, my bad.
They gave partial control to Marvel just to make the last two Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
But they still have the overall rights. They have last say.
Jada said he got a lot to say. Jay, we're gonna get you know what, Jada? That'll be perfect because when you come and do a show with us, we'll definitely make sure that that's one of the topics because the two of y'all, that could be a whole show by itself, I'm sure. But go ahead.
I mean, yeah, so the trailer and
they got a new Joker jump coming up.
Yeah.
Is it a Joker movie?
Yeah.
Who's playing the Joker?
Damn it.
See.
Because we weren't talking about the Joker. We were talking about Spider-Man.
Thank you, Jada Nerd. Exactly.
Everybody mad about Spider-Man, but we still can't get a good. Okay.
Right
there
with you. We got a good We're going to get it. We should get a good Spider-Man. Now that Marvel has the rights back for X-Men, we should get a decent X-Men movie out.
But are they going to go back to the beginning and remake, or are they going to pick up where the other trash?
That's what we don't know.
You see what I'm saying?
They'll probably pick up. Like they'll probably
from Dark Phoenix.
No,
they need to trash that.
Because Dark Phoenix, they'll probably
Dark Phoenix
try to do.
They just need to trash.
They'll probably just do a reset because they're kind of.
I got it.
They're kind of.
He's
introducing them
$2 whore. Wow, you're angry.
But you know what though? I feel the same way, and I don't have no beef against Halle Berry, but it's no way in the world that Halle Berry should have ever been Storm. I had Amon playing Storm. Tyra Banks could have played Storm.
But the way they did Storm in the original X-Men movie was trash.
Well,
anyway.
Yeah, the way they did it was trash. I agree. I agree. The way they did it was trash. But even the person, but let's start with the person they had playing her was trash. And no disrespect to Halle Berry, but
she had 5 lines.
She's not Storm.
No, right, and she had 5 lines.
She had 5 lines.
But she was an extra.
And she was like Storm is not a big character.
Yeah.
At all.
Sony
She's
has
one of the most powerful
X-Men.
X-Men.
Sony has the rights to Spider-Man. Somebody at Sony wanted Kevin Feige to bring Spidey to the fold. The agreement was that Sony kept movie profit, Marvel kept franchise profit. Oh.
El Teddy, we're not ready for you yet. Come back. Go back out.
We got off on X-Men, but we were talking about Spider-Man and Sony, and Lil Baby is added. She's very knowledgeable. She added to it too. My biggest gripe with Halle Berry was that shake and go wig. I agree though. Wow. I agree because Storm always had that long, flowing white hair. Oh my gosh, I was mad.
Well, she did have a whole series where she had the mohawk. Just saying, it was real. It happened.
Anyway, but I'm with you, Jada Nerd. When are we gonna get a good X-Men movie? I can agree. And I don't mean no harm. I'm not clearly I'm not a big comic book person, but Face and I did of the first what's that movie?
Jesus Christ. The Infinity Wars?
The Infinity Wars. The first Infinity Wars, you will see just how much I did not know about anything dealing with comic books. But with that being said, I don't care about it. We don't need another Spider-Man movie ever.
But he's in the storyline.
We don't need there's so many Spider-Man movies. It's like 50 gazillion of them. We don't need any more. More Wolverine would be fine.
So this is more of a personal thing for you.
I'm just joking. But no, we really don't need, seriously,
no, we don't need to restart Spider-Man again.
No, we don't. I'm just done with it. Yes.
Absolutely.
It does not need a restart.
Joaquin Phoenix is the new Joker.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix, yeah.
Are we going to go see it and do a review? Let's go see it and do a review. Tom Holland was a great Spider-Man.
The man can act.
We need a Spider-Man movie since his identity was released. See, I don't even know what the hell that means. His identity was released. What does that mean?
Unfortunately, the best.
Yeah, they told him. Well, he had a secret identity. Identity was released. Secret identity.
You mean in the comic books, his secret was released? That's what you mean? I'm not being funny. You mean in the comic books? I'm not feeling the new Joker. He's too jazzy for me. Ooh, I don't know what that means either.
Jazzy?
Like
jazzy.
Joker was always a little flamboyant. I'm just saying.
I'm mad. Jada Nerd said with all the Brazilian Yaki straight bundles we had, the birds that Jada Nerd is hilarious. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Okay, so we're gonna go see the new Joker. When is it supposed to come out?
I don't know. That's how much.
That's how much you care.
That's how much I want to.
Did you just say he's Harley Quinn?
He's Harley Quinn.
He's like a Harley Quinn.
I'm a Marvel fan. I understand the importance of these characters' importance to help drive along the storyline.
But they need Spider-Man for Phase 4 anyway.
Joker, Harley, Wolverine. That's it for me. Yeah, here's the thing. Wolverine was one of my favorite X-Men characters.
I'm done with DC movies.
But they destroyed him. Did y'all see Logan?
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Oh my gosh, that was horrible. I watched Logan on my way to Africa, and I kept falling asleep on it, and I got mad because when I finally finished watching the whole thing, which pretty much took me damn near the whole flight, I was mad. I was like, "This what I kept waking up to see?" Because I had to keep rewinding it. Look,
because he died.
Horrible. Just the whole thing was horrible. Him dying at the end wasn't great, but the whole thing was horrible.
You know, it
to
was,
me.
Well, the old man Logan.
Marvel even had plans to bring a Venom. We need Kevin to fix Venom. I want a Bishop character in the MCU.
You like
complete with brown skin.
Logan was not excellent. I'm sorry.
You ain't
Logan was excellent. I'm sorry, I didn't like it.
No,
sorry,
Logan was
Logan.
not excellent. That was garbage.
What is MCU? What does that mean? Marvel
Cinematic Universe.
Got you.
Logan.
We need Ghost here for this conversation. He would be into it too.
I guess they couldn't do the old man Logan's the way it was done in the comics. It would probably been impossible. It took like 5 movies.
What, the old man Logan?
That's what Logan was based on, the old man Logan storyline from the comics. So,
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah.
I used to read the X-Men comic books back in the day. But I mean back in the day.
I checked out, was it Cabal? The way how they did Cabal, I'm like, Cabal was not a skinny dude.
No, she's actually
not a skinny dude afraid of the sun in the comics. So that kind of was like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to take this with a grain of salt as far as Logan is concerned.
Yeah, see, I don't know. But again, you're talking to a non-fan, little baby. So I didn't read the comic books. I'm just a fan of Wolverine, and I just wasn't feeling it. It just did not.
I mean, it was cool the way they did it, you know, except for how they did my man Cabal. That was trash. I ain't like that.
So okay. So what are the next movies that are coming out in this comic book world that you guys live in?
I think Doctor Strange is next.
Doctor Strange?
Another one?
Yeah.
I didn't like the
they're filming it. Or they're filming it now. Nobody cares about your opinion, man.
You're not even on the screen.
Right, we can't even see you.
We can't even see you.
Like, you all right.
You can come over.
And they're doing
into the screen.
What is it? The Celestials next.
The Celestials. Who's that? You know,
space people. They go into space.
They're going into space. You know, Ghost went to like Jada Nerd. I don't know if you heard about it or not. One of his or something like that. You know, they had like their home. They had their whole like Black Comic-Con. Yeah. Did you go?
The Black Convention. Yeah.
He went. Did you see his pictures? It was in Virginia like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, he dressed up and everything. He dressed up like
where I saw the videos of all the
Star Trek. He was the Star Trek dude.
Oh yeah, I did see Ghosts.
Yeah, and he had the ears and
he did it up.
He looks cute. He did the damn thing. Okay, you like Doctor Strange? I like Doctor Strange too. So they're doing a new Doctor Strange.
It's okay. He didn't get it.
So they're doing a new Doctor Strange.
It was over his head.
And what else? What else is coming up next? Now, what are they going to do on the Infinity War side? Because they're done with all that stuff, right? Because Infinity Wars, that's it. We're done.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, they're making another Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, is Thor going to be with them? Because didn't Thor leave with them at the end of Infinity War?
It's just a part of the plan.
I guess I need to go back and actually watch the first 2 now.
Why are we? What's in that subject?
The fuck?
Look, every time I go to watch it, I catch it in the middle. Is it on like Netflix or something?
Yes.
When I looked at Netflix, I couldn't find it.
I own it. I would give you
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
I can't take this abuse.
No, you got to go check in. It's all good. We understand.
All right, whatever.
Yes, please do that. Go shower. Do
Yes.
that. Yes, we appreciate that. Can smell you from over here.
No, you can't. No, you leave a trail. I know every place you've been.
I know every place you've been. I think Thor, Guardians, and Captain Marvel. I think Captain Marvel is definitely on the board. So they're going to make another Captain Marvel. I didn't like Captain Marvel.
I mean, you like the movie or the person?
I didn't like her character. She's a little arrogant for me.
Bitch, I had to.
Yeah, she did. She did. You know what I'm saying? She was all humble till she found out who the fuck she was. Then she was, I must save the galaxy. Earth, you're just a peon to me. I did not like it. But
what happened? I was like,
El Fatty.
She was like, I'm in space. I'm doing everything. But I'm like, look here.
Right.
How did you not see Thanos coming?
Right. How did you not? Right.
You was already out there.
Right. How Thanos get past you? Hooker. Yeah, I wasn't crazy about Captain Marvel. Okay. So
Black Widow is actually next.
Black Widow is next?
Yeah.
Ooh. I kind of want to see Black Widow movie.
And then the Eternals.
What year is that? 2020?
Yep.
So nothing's coming out till 2020? 2020.
See, it's like this a long time from now.
If I knew back then Well,
We can
no,
say
now, no, now.
Okay,
No, no,
well,
no.
we're not doing the shower scene. I'll tell you.
Well, yeah, El Teddy. El Teddy. Well, I mean, yeah, 2020 really isn't that far away from
Right,
now, but
so
I'm just
like,
saying.
you know.
But it could be. Does it say what month in 2020?
No.
Oh, just in 2020. See, so it could be.
Oh,
it could be.
They're doing
What?
TV shows.
They're doing Falcon
series.
and the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
They're making that a TV show.
Yep.
Ooh.
I'm thinking Netflix.
Luku?
Loki, man.
Loki, yeah. Loki.
There's no. You a teacher? There was no you in that, man.
Loki. No, so Loki, I know who Loki is. That's Thor's brother. That's the one that Hawk smash. I remember that. Remember Hawk was
Right, yeah, no.
yeah, okay.
Got it. All right, cool.
I'm clearly not a comic book person and it's okay. I'm okay with that.
All right, cool. What's the next topic?
All right.
Apparently, you
Shut up. Sling Blade.
I had this really.
All right, so that's cool. And Jaded Nerd, you and Face can have a great conversation about all things dealing with comic books, Marvel, and so forth. Now, the other half, because we're just chit chat. Okay, let me see what little baby's saying. She seems very knowledgeable. I think it's because there are other problems similar to Earth going on elsewhere. She wants to defend them because they don't want Earth level of defense. Oh, they don't have Earth level of defense. Right. Oh, you talking about you? Oh, you defending Captain Marvel? Oh, that's nice. That's so nice. You defending Captain Marvel. She's still a hooker hoe. Anyway, so
and what's even more strange, Dr. Strange didn't know about him either. He's supposed to be keeping tabs on Press to Earth. Like he knew about Loki, didn't know nothing about
Thanos.
Yeah.
Maybe Thanos has like a protective barrier around him, and people don't feel it. Here is Classic trying to join the conversation on position she may have seen.
He's
gonna make shit up. Maybe Thanos has like this protective layer.
Maybe
the cologne he wears blocks him from
she saw a cartoon once, and now she's trying to jump in. Like she knows what she's talking about.
He has a protective layer that protects him from his smell, kind of like Juan Pablo. His smell protects him.
From what? Not ridicule.
From other people seeing, hearing, knowing him. Oh shit. Okay, that was my phone. All right. So the other hashtag, it's something we kind of already talked about, but I want to get your take on it. So you saw the Dave Chappelle special. How you feeling about it?
I think Monique might be the next Iron Man. Go ahead. Huh? What?
Monique who?
The Captain Marvel's friend's daughter.
Monique is gonna be the next Iron Man?
I mean,
is it the next Iron Man black? I thought it was a little black girl.
Right, like the little black girl that was in Captain Marvel.
Her?
She has a name.
Oh, her name fits. I could go for that because I was really upset when Iron Man died. I was not happy with that. I was a little upset by that, but I could definitely understand that. What about Monique? Okay, yeah. What about Monique? Captain Marvel's best friend's daughter. Yeah. Thanos is the epitome of sin. He is. She should be grown now and was supposed to be Nurse Powerful because she does bad things for his benefit. That sounds about right. Yeah. So Monique, so that's what we're all saying, Teddy. That's what Face is saying is that Monique is probably gonna be the next Iron Man. But is that gonna be the movie? Are they gonna do that in the movie?
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna pull that off, but
I mean I'm down for it. I'm down for it.
Why not?
All right, so how you feel about the Dave Chappelle special?
Yeah. One of his best.
Yeah, I honestly think so too.
Yeah,
it was definitely better than the last special he came out with. It was definitely better than that last one. No, go ahead.
I mean, it was probably like we were saying earlier, it's probably the best medicine for America right now.
It absolutely was because
he put a little orange juice on it so you can take it, swallow it down.
Right, absolutely. He gave America a pill, but he crushed it up for him, made it easy for him to digest because it was unapologetically political.
He even trashed the audience.
Yeah, he did. He talked about us.
Talk about us.
He talked about us. He was like, "You're the reason."
I don't do comedy like that. It's like, man.
And I can agree because so let me ask you this, and I was going to talk about this on my live last night, but we started talking about other things. Do you think that comedians should get somewhat of a pass when it comes to being politically correct because they're being funny?
It's not even a pass. Like, I don't. How do you expect a comedian to expect a comedian to apologize? I mean, there's something wrong with you.
Do you think is there any such thing as going too far as a comedian, or is it all just within the?
There's something going too far with anything. Like you can go too far, but I haven't seen anything of late that would constitute going too far. Like, you just having a conversation, you can talk about it.
Right.
Let's talk about it. This is you don't want to hear it.
Right. And I feel like the way I feel with comedians, I mean, I guess I feel like comedians get a pass. I feel like when it's put into comedy, I think that's what comedy has always been. You go back, comedy has always been a reflection of the times. That's what I'm saying. It's always, and it really pisses me off when people come for comedians for doing something in their act. Now, if they walking down the street and they just say something ignorant out of just being ignorant, but it just pisses me off when I see a comedian performing, and now you want to pick apart what they said. They're performing
like they were giving a political speech.
Right, they're doing their job, and it really, really irritates me. And I feel like and Dave Chappelle said it, and he said it I watched it yesterday, but he said in his special, we are too sensitive, and everybody's worried about being so overly politically correct that we're going too far in the opposite direction to the point where nobody can say anything. You know what I mean?
Right, say anything, do anything bad. Like, what are you really offended by? You gonna take it out on a comedian? Just they didn't get it out of nowhere. There's people next to you that's probably said worse to you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Little baby, I was gonna say, Teddy. We go to comedians to find the humor in tragedy. Exactly. Right. Comedy is comedy. Red Fox never apologized. Amen. And Red Fox was the most. You talking about some raunchy, talking about your mama, your kids, your dog, your dead granny. He didn't care.
None of them apologized. There was no.
It was. I'm unknown. That car joke was genius. The way he broke down the LGBTQ community and the whole it was perfect. It was, and it was done in a way where I'm not in the community, so I can't tell the community what they can and can't get mad about. But from where I'm sitting, you can't even get mad at that. The way it was broken down, like you can't even get mad at that.
It was hilarious.
It was absolutely hilarious. We need comedians to carry the legacy of free speech.
Like,
Agreed.
A stand-up comedian is almost like the epitome of free speech. Oh, hey, get quick over there.
The booty shorts had me dying. Right, the cue with the we said white guy with the booty shorts. Exactly. It was good. Like, again,
like everybody wants their 15 minutes to do something.
Exactly. And when he started off with Anthony Bourdain, I was just like, or Bourdain. I was like,
and the way,
where we going? Where we going?
About his boy.
But then he put it all the way back. Right. When he put it all the way back around, he was like, and this nigga never once thought about killing himself. And I even made the suggestion. Oh my gosh.
Juicy Smollett?
Juicy Smollett. The French actor. Juicy Smollett. Juicy Smollett. It's funny because when I was listening to Dave Chappelle when he was saying you don't like school, I mean you can't find other ways. I didn't like school. I found other ways to do it. It reminded me of the stories that our friend Treble Clef, we call her Treble Clef on the podcast. She went to school with Dave Chappelle. They went to the same high school, and they were in homeroom together. And she used to tell us stories about him coming in homeroom to sleep in because he was already doing comedy at night. Right. So when he would come to school, he would sleep. He would halfway be paying attention. He would copy. He would find other ways of getting his work done. And I just remember I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, you did, because she would tell us the stories about going to school with this dude.
Like Juicy.
Yes, the pronunciation took me out because it was funny because I think everybody
talks. Everybody was like,
Juicy Smollett.
Like, part of the Nigerians.
Right. He said, and when he said that the black community was quiet, he said we were supporting him in our silence because we knew that was some bullshit.
Like, have you ever been to Chicago? When have you seen a rope just lying around?
And the thing is this, I was one of those people that did support Jussie Smollett. I really did. I still think it's more to that story, but I'm gonna let it go. But the shit was funny.
It was one of them jokes, but it was kind of like I was reading on my phone, like
right. Because when I first heard about it, I was like, "Damn, that's messed up. He got attacked, blah blah blah." And then, like, the more details you read, you were like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" Yeah. Like, oh. But I did like publicly support him because I was like,
At first, I was like, "Oh, that's messed up." Then I started reading and like what supposedly happened, and it was like,
Right.
all right.
The roles he was talking. Oh, the notes he was taking as the police. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
All right. Hey, Earl, just take this one.
Exactly. Right, the Dreamhampton. He was like,
it was too hot for TV.
Right, that ain't
some bullshit I say.
No, but again, my funniest part of that was when he was like, the main reason why I didn't participate in the documentary, and I want y'all to understand this is very important. I don't know that nigga.
I don't know this nigga at all.
Oh my gosh, y'all! If y'all have not seen it, y'all need it. It really is good. It's funny, but again, it's giving you the political. And like I said, he hit everybody. He hit the audience.
Everyone.
You know what I mean? Because he talked about the whole Kevin Hart situation, and he talked about Louis C.K.
Louis C.K.
He said
that's the most harmless dude ever. Somebody just came on their chest.
Right. And he was like, and yeah, I'm biased because that's my friend, but I mean, it is what it is. So I thought it was good. I definitely recommend it.
Oh, and
David is hilarious.
And the best part was, you know what? I understand.
Yeah, me too, Ebony. I was the same way.
I understand how white people feel right now with this whole opioid epidemic.
Right.
Because, you know what? I don't give a fuck either.
Just say no.
How hard could it be? Hang in there, whites.
And I think we all can understand that, you guys. I think we all can understand that as people. I think most of us in this room are products of the crack epidemic. Not products, but we grew up during that time period. I don't mean we was crack babies. I mean we grew up during that time period.
You suffered during that time period, and you see that everybody got shot all summer.
Right.
We were shooting every day for an entire summer.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What?
That was my whole point. People are choosing to be mad. They're deciding that they want to be mad just because.
Exactly, because
they figure, people will listen.
Exactly.
Oh, like, get out of here.
And exactly, and that's the thing that cracks me up about. That's the thing that just cracks me up about this whole situation. When you start talking about, like, people are even mad at this special, and I'm like, what could you? What?
You possibly
he talked about everybody, and that's the only thing. Now, the only thing that irritates me is when you go see a comedian and they pick on one group or one person or one the whole time. But he was equal opportunity. I feel like he gave it to everybody. I thought it was funny. I definitely give it an A. I give it a thumbs up. I give it an A.
He. What I think is genius. He addressed everything that everybody was mad at about him. Like, he didn't even let himself off the hook, which I thought was genius.
Right. He didn't let himself off the hook either. No, he did. He got on himself a little bit. Yep. We talked about it.
Put it in perspective. It's like, hey, I take responsibility for some of these jokes.
Exactly.
He's continue to keep being funny.
He said the teens don't like me very much. They don't like me very much.
No, he said they hate my fucking guts.
They hate my fucking guts. Yes. But it was good, you guys. It was definitely good. I dropped the Cash App. Over here we do not press you out for money or anything like that, but I did drop the Cash App because, again, we are still getting ready for back to school, and I am still doing classroom stuff. We got Face in the house, so there's that. But so again, if you're new to the room, I just don't want you to think that we do that. We don't press nobody out over here. Donations are appreciated, but not required.
Review from a clip,
huh?
Nah, just what everybody was saying. Like, yeah, you can go on a rant and be mad about a show from a video clip that you saw on YouTube.
Right.
That's. I don't think you're qualified to give an opinion.
And that's the thing that pisses me off about people. And I think some of us, I mean, I'm gonna point the finger at myself. I've been guilty of doing it. I try to be a lot more conscious of it now. But I think we get caught up in that. You're gonna look at a clip or something, and you're gonna react to a clip instead of watching the whole thing and figuring out what context something was done and what the whole thing was about.
Doing research.
Exactly. No research. Now, Adrian Expressions is part of the LGBTQ community. And so he saw that one little piece and he got offended. I'm going to have to go back and look at his video because I don't know what the video, but it's just people who do that.
Right. A little bit. Everybody wants to laugh at everybody else. Nobody wants to laugh at themselves, though.
Exactly.
And especially when you're the most funny.
Exactly. And I think that, we got to point the finger at ourselves as much as we point the finger at other people. And especially, again, when it comes down to blaming somebody and all that other stuff. It just
like there have been stand-up comics that I just did not like at all.
yeah.
Like and then even how that's not what they were talking about. And I decided to go home and write a review, on their Facebook page or tell other people, y'all don't go see this person, X, Y, and Z. I was just like, well, I
didn't like it.
I won't buy another ticket.
Right, I didn't like it.
Like,
and if I'm talking amongst friends,
and I love stand-up.
Right, and if I'm talking amongst
all
friends,
types.
I will share my opinion about stuff. But yeah, I'm not out here to blow nobody up. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you doing a job, and it might not be for me. Everybody's comedy ain't for me. Like I do not think Jim Carrey is funny. I never have. I don't enjoy his movies. But there are people who think he's hilarious and he's the funniest thing since sliced bread. It's just not funny to me.
There are people that get on what's Bill Burr. And because they figure, well, he's just trying to cater to black people, be black or whatever. I'm like, Bill Burr's just a fucking asshole on stage and he's hilarious. Like you should like he doesn't try to appease to anyone. He's just on stage telling jokes. And what's hilarious about it, when I tell people, I'm like, Bill Burr
go unknown.
Was on the Chappelle Show. Like, do you know that Bill Burr was on the Chappelle Show? They be like, no, he wasn't. Yes, he was. Look at that.
I don't know who Bill Burr is.
He was.
Tell me something he was in. I don't know Bill Burr.
I mean, look, he was on the Chappelle Show.
Okay, I will.
He was on the skit when
I will Google him.
When he was a cop, when he was like when they raided, how they were talking about the difference between white people going to jail and. I mean, I'm not one of those people that studied the Chappelle Show. I watched it. I enjoyed it. I didn't study it. Oh, my knee. White people's funny. Jeez. Okay, all right. Well, DL Hughley. It's either you like him or you don't.
And that's the thing. Now, I'm gonna tell you this. I like the old DL Hughley. I don't know if I like this new conscious DL Hughley. He a bit much to me, but again, that's his thing. All right, he says some things. He says I'm very much there, but there's some other things I'll be like. Ooh.
It got him a show.
Well, it definitely got him a show. I mean, and again, I'm not mad at him. We grow and we evolve, and his comedy has definitely changed. And I think with every new tattoo, like he went from one extreme, like he got 5,000 tattoos. This dude got tattoos from his neck down. What? Why are you making that face?
No, I'm just listening.
Oh, and but again, his comedy has changed and evolved. That doesn't mean it's bad or it's wrong. It's just different for me.
Lil Baby says, I just want to forget my point.
Oh, go ahead, Lil Baby.
Nah, I mean, like sex jokes. Like that was damn it. Now I'm about to talk, I can't remember his name now. Damn it. But that was his whole thing. But he was showing out.
Darren. I'm disagreeing with Darren. She said DL Hughley. Lil Baby said she don't enjoy sex jokes.
Right. But
I don't have a problem with sex jokes.
There was
I do think sometimes people can go too far.
Damn it.
Sometimes people can go too far. But it don't bother me so much. I have been uncomfortable with certain comedians, like if I'm in a room with my parents, I'd be like, like
whoa, turn this down.
Right, like I really want to laugh at that, but then I don't. Why do I keep dropping my phone?
Well, luckily I got carpet.
Luckily you do have carpet. Luckily I have an OtterBox. Richard said DL Hughley is not funny to him. Teachers, what do I think about the joke about teaching kids shooter drills in school when the shooter's there learning too? I mean, as a teacher,
I thought the joke was hilarious.
As a teacher, I understand it. I do think there's a certain level of us teaching our kids to be afraid. I think the sad part is that we're at a state in our country where we have to do drills for a shooter. And we just had another shooting in Texas last night. You know what I mean? I just think that's part, but as a teacher, I understand why we do them, but I think it is a sad state of affairs in our country that we have to do them.
I mean, I just think it's hilarious that, well, all right, we have money for metal detectors that have lunch late and everybody else carry guns and books and all of that, but there's no funding for books.
Right.
That's the joke right there. That's like, do you really hear yourself what you're saying?
Y'all know Dave Chappelle doesn't give a fuck why people were upset that he wasn't appeasing. Dave Chappelle really don't give a fuck. Anytime if he didn't prove it when he walked away from a $10 million contract because he was like, I don't want to do it no more. If y'all ain't figured out yet that Dave Chappelle does not give a fuck.
Like his money is together.
Right. He does what he wants to do, how and when he wants to do it. When he walked away from a $10 million contract because he was like, yeah, I just wasn't feeling that anymore. Like, it just wasn't, I didn't think it just wasn't doing it for me anymore. Like, if that didn't let you know then, like, come on. Dave Chappelle, and honestly, I just think more comedians should be that, because I think Kevin Hart started off when he was doing the whole I'm not going to apologize thing, but then like Dave Chappelle said, but then you went and ended up apologizing. So you might as well just done what the Academy wanted you to do.
For 6 weeks.
Right, exactly.
Sitting up here.
Right, stay low and running the Zigzag Foundation.
No.
Some people have laptops in school. Not all schools have laptops. It depends on the school district. It depends on the school. Dave has never been a get along guy. Yeah, exactly. 50 million contract. Oh, okay, I had the number wrong. $50 million.
Yep.
Yeah, they have bulletproof backpacks now. Like, that is just a sad state of affairs. So we can put money into bulletproof backpacks, and we can't change the laws and make it harder for people to get guns. Like, that's how we just rather make bulletproof backpacks than make it harder for kids to get a gun. Like, that's what we're doing now. Not kids to get a gun, but people to get a gun. Somebody just said I was trying to speak on. Oh, when you start talking about what schools have, it just, again, it's state by state, it's county by county, district by district. In my district, we have some schools that have 1-to-1, which means that every kid gets a laptop. But that's the exception and not the rule. Most schools do not have that. There are some schools that they have the 1-to-1 devices, and it goes from school to school. It depends. So it's not a automatic thing. Now, I will say this. All kids do have a computer. Them damn smartphones is a computer. You know, they use them for good.
If they use them for good.
You're
not evil.
Because, I mean, this is a computer. You know what I mean? For all intents and purposes, this is a computer. So it's a small screen and things like that. But I've seen kids do PowerPoints on their phone. I have seen kids do PowerPoints from their phone. So it can be done.
They took notice how to figure this out.
To figure out what?
Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh, you were trying to think Andrew Dice Clay?
Like, that was his whole career was on sex comedy. Like,
his whole career was shot comedy. Yeah.
It was all sex jokes for an hour and a half.
Right, and now he's like grandpa.
Why don't they make
suburban kids go through metal detectors like they do? Again, I think that varies from state to state, because like in my county, no schools have metal detectors, and I think some should, mine included.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think that goes state to state, school by school.
Like, whoever's gonna put the money up.
Right. No, mine bring it home and they get a new one each year. See, where you live, I'm unknown. Where you live, it sounds like the kids get laptops.
It seems like
so. It sounds like, I mean, I don't know where you live, but I don't know
how how times change and who's changing, who's responsible.
In my school,
I used to feel
the middle school and high school has metal detectors, but the elementary school doesn't. Yeah, that's pretty much DCPS is like that.
So apparently, meet me at the monkey bars at 3:00.
That's over.
Apparently, that's too much because now they just got to shoot everybody. Because that used to be the thing that you're supposed to fear. At the end of the day, it's getting beat up. But then you go back to school the next day, like it ain't nothing.
Jaded. Oh, poor Jaded nerd. He has to work today. Jaded, y'all, I cannot see. He said, I want to say that people who come into stores on holiday weekend are trash and their mothers wear combat boots. Good Lord. I'm sorry, Jaded Boo. I'm sorry to give you a hard time on this holiday. I'm sorry. I guess Labor Day didn't work in your favor, huh, Boo? I'm sorry.
Combat boots, though?
Right, and combat boots.
The Doc Martens?
Not the Doc Martens, though. Yeah, the funding where your life is impeccable. That's not for us poor country folks. Yeah, again, when we start, y'all know I could go go down a whole nother road when we start getting into funding for schools and all that other stuff. You got the fidget spinner again. It is so it is just so unbalanced, and there's no rhyme or reason for it. There's a student formula that most school districts use. And the schools get money based on that formula, but there's so many other things that play into those.
I thought it had to do with how much the tax reflected in that school district, like community.
No, there's a formula. Well, let me say this. Where I've worked, there's a formula. Each student, your school gets a certain amount of money based on each student. And
the money that's allocated is based on like that neighborhood, like price of that zip code, like the money that's available for that. I kind of read that somewhere.
Some places do that. Yeah, some areas do that.
It was like a thing explaining why we have black neighborhoods and white neighborhoods.
Right. No, some areas do that. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. It varies from state to state. Okay. So some areas do that. But what I'm saying is there is a weighted student formula. Like in DC, there's a weighted student formula. Right. That's supposed to be across the board. But like I know that doesn't happen.
Yeah, right.
Right. So
been there.
Right.
So that's why
that formula is garbage. It is. The formula here gives the whole.
Because they made that one.
Gives the white prestigious schools more funding than they do the. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying.
That black mother, like she had to pay that fine back for all that time. She tried to send her daughter to a different school district.
A lot about the address.
Yeah, I'm like.
Right. But no, she actually went to jail.
But I'm like, who hasn't done that? I'm like, I've used my parents' address.
I mean,
for my daughter's first
a lot of people,
2-3 years of school.
A lot of people do it, and it's just about getting caught.
It was a matter of convenience, and the school knew.
It's about getting caught. El Teddy must have had to step away because he ain't saying nothing. He ain't flirting nothing. The fact that there are schools designed to specifically handle kids with dyslexia says that most schools don't have the funding for those type of tools in the classroom. Look,
what?
Where you live, little baby, that kids get a special school for dyslexia. That's right. I never heard that before.
Yeah, that's a new one.
We do have schools for kids who have extreme learning disabilities, but dyslexia doesn't usually fall under that umbrella unless there are other variables involved. And I mean, again, I can't speak for your district. But there are schools for kids who have extreme special needs.
Right.
A lot of times there's a combination of behavior and learning disability, but dyslexia is usually. But no, you're right. A lot of times the schools can't handle those. A lot of times schools can't handle certain extreme learning disabilities because students with extreme learning disabilities need more of a one-to-one or a small school environment. Right. And most public schools are not equipped to provide that with everything else they have to do.
Fit everybody in.
The other thing is, under federal law, under IDEA, the idea is to put kids in what's called the least restrictive environment.
I feel like I should have a notepad right now. Like taking notes.
They want to put the kids in what's called the least restrictive environment. So a student with dyslexia would not qualify to be in a self-contained classroom or in a quote-unquote special classroom because the idea is that they would be put into, for as often as possible, be put into the general ed classes. And what they're doing now is putting the special ed teachers in the classroom with the students rather than pulling the students out with a special ed teacher, unless it's an extreme situation. Okay. So, like at my school, we do have what they call self-contained, but those are usually the kids that are what they have labeled now intellectually disabled, which we used to call retarded. We don't use that language anymore.
Word.
Kids that have like
glad you said something.
Yeah, we don't use retarded anymore. Kids that have, maybe in wheelchairs or kids that we have at my school we have kids that have cerebral palsy, things like that. More extreme. And then you have schools that handle the kids that are more extreme. And a lot of times those schools really it comes down to behavior, like a combination of behavior and a learning disability. So, but a lot of that goes under federal law of what schools can and can't do. Thanks, Ebony.
What?
She said, I don't think they're a specialized area. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't speak for every school district across the United States, but I'm just saying most places, when a kid is in a specialized school, it's usually for a more extreme disability.
So what do you, as an educator, identify as a learning disability? So many people claim things that do not apply to them or their situation. So what is a true learning disability? Jada Nerd.
Okay, so Jada Nerd, I don't identify anybody. The law identifies. I'm not qualified to identify anybody. I don't, because what they have to do is be tested. The way the process works is this. Is this to generalize how the process works? As anybody who teaches a student, from the custodian on up to the principal or the parent, can say, I think I see something in this child and they need to be tested. once that request is put in, this is the law. Once that request, a formal request is made to the school has 30 days to test that child.
You say even the janitor?
Even the janitor. Because it's called, just like, it's the same responsibility that if a janitor sees a kid being beat up, they're mandatory reporters.
Okay.
So anybody that has anything to do with that child's education has the right to say, I think I see something. Like if the janitor sees a kid keep bumping into the wall and can't walk down the hall straight. Now, it just sounds extreme, but it's legit. Like everybody in that building. So once the child is tested, Jaded Nerd, once the child is tested, the data that comes back, their classification, if they have a learning disability, then the classification is based, the conversation the IEP team meets, and that disability is determined based on that data. So I'm not qualified to say anybody has a learning disability. I can request a child be tested, and I can say what I have seen as an educator in my classroom, what I have witnessed, but I don't make that determination. I see El Teddy's back in the room, so he never left. He never left. Oh, he's he's busy. He's handling some business. Oh, thank you, Jaded Nerd. Yeah, and the team that tests the child is a team that would test the child. So they look at all different aspects. It's not just one person.
No, that's a good question. They were never around when I got jumped either. Damn, Janice.
You wish you could call in? Well, I don't know if anybody would hear you. You could call in, but I don't know if anybody would hear you. It's sad we have students that need help, but their parents won't let them be tested. Well, I don't want to get too technical with that either, but it's the parents.
Parents.
I don't want to get too technical about that. But again, if the school sees something in the child, it's.
Wait, nah, it's not happening.
What face? What is that?
No,
Teddy, no. You calling on my number, Teddy. You were not calling on Face's number. No.
It's a good one, though. Nice try. I like it. And I think my PO's still in the room, so.
So where were the janitors when they were trying to jump me?
I asked the same question.
You know, the reality.
They weren't around, I was getting jumped either.
And the reality is, nobody's perfect, and I can't answer that question, Jaded. I don't know, boo. I don't know.
I mean, I had the same problem.
You got jumped?
Yeah.
You got picked on?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was the smallest out of three.
Oh, you the smallest. Oh. See, I didn't know you then.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't meet you till you were an adult.
I had to fight.
I mean, I knew people who knew you, but I didn't know I knew people who knew you until we were adults.
Right.
And we knew each other. That works both ways too, because if the child is gifted, the parents can get in the way of them being advanced. Yeah, I mean, and a lot of it comes down to just the parent being educated. And I don't mean that they're not educated, like book educated. I mean educated on the law and educated on the process of what can and can't happen. The reality.
All right, Jay. Right.
If you want to call in, Teddy, call in, and I can put you on speaker, and we have a microphone here that might pick it up.
I think a bowl of chicken noodles.
About education, Teddy. Chicken noodle soup and a hug from. Oh, I got you, boo. I got you. I give you a hug. Oh, but
yeah, no,
I'll be like Ayanla. You could lay on the bosom, Jaded. I'd be like Ayanla. You ever see Ayanla Vezan? She always had it plugged in.
Did you just ask me that question?
Okay. El Teddy.
Hey, Faith.
Hey, Teddy.
El Teddy, you can speak to education. You're not gonna sit here and be flirting with Faith the whole time.
I'm not. I'm really gonna be good today. I'm trying.
Can y'all hear Teddy?
We were just. Can they hear me?
Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear Teddy. Put a 1 up if y'all can hear Teddy, so we'll know whether this is working or not.
Okay.
Dear God.
Okay, I got some 1s. Okay.
We were just talking about this yesterday. Remember, I was telling you how I had a video about the whole gifted versus learning disability, or gifted versus special ed process, and how parents can be advocates for their kids. It's a whole lot that parents don't realize and don't know, especially parents of students of color, don't know, and that they won't tell you, and they want you to be ignorant too. One of the things that I talked about in the video was there is no different when you are talking about kindergarten, first grade, pre-K, up to about second grade or so. There's no different from a child who's phenomenally gifted and phenomenally learning disabled. There is no difference at all. They display the same behaviors. Right. They have the same cognitive skills a lot of times. They have the same everything. The only difference is a lot of times race and how they're labeled. Yep. And see, the thing about it is that people don't realize is once they get labeled either or, that stays with them throughout their entire educational process.
We pigeonhole those kids,
And the thing, and here's the big difference. And this is one thing that I tried to drive home when I was going in about it. Watch the video, is a promo for my video. But anyway, when you are labeled gifted, well, I'll go to IEP first. When you're labeled special ed, you get an IEP. Everybody knows what an IEP is. Individualized education plan. Right. What that means is a group of adults and that student sit around a table and they talk about every one of that child's weaknesses. That's all legally that they talk about. What they're going to do to try to strengthen their weaknesses. Exactly. What they're going to do to mitigate their deficiencies and all of those good things, that and the third. And that's usually the little black child. Right. Now, the little white child gets labeled gifted and he doesn't get an IEP, he gets an EP. And on the EP, it is illegal for you to even mention weaknesses. You can only mention strengths. And so for the rest of their educational career, that child who has the IEP has to sit there and listen to people talk all this meeting about everything they do wrong, and the child who's gifted gets to hear everything that they do right all of the time. Mind you, we talked about they all started the same. They displayed the same behaviors, the same cognitive levels, the same actions way back when. It's just in most times it ends up being students of color.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the thing. So okay, so I'm gonna say two things. I'm gonna say y'all go to L Teddy's page and go to his Angry Teacher Chronicle videos and find because he's talked about this. Okay, and then I
think it's called Educating You on Education. That's one of them.
Okay, this one he think it's called Educating You on Education. And then the second thing I'm going to say is this is a preview because me and L Teddy are working on some things. So hopefully we'll be bringing you guys some more informational things on education. We're working on some stuff. So hopefully we can get that worked out.
You know what I wanted to talk about too? Okay. And I want to know, since we were talking about sports earlier and we are on education now, something that happened in Florida that I see is trending around the country. In Florida, technically we got rid of districts. Even though literally we still have school districts, technically they passed a law which said that as long as you can get transportation and that school says that they have room in that school, you can send your child to any school you want to. Doesn't matter.
Really? Oh,
yes,
okay.
Now, we could talk about what that means educationally and how that's going to pull so many students from the black schools and monies from those black schools, because you get monies based on, in Florida, you get monies based on millage and tax, property taxes and how many students are there and all of that stuff you were talking about earlier. But I do want to talk about what it means for sports, because what it has turned to in Florida is, and Florida is, one of the places, the biggest football states in the country in terms of high school football and bringing recruitment for college. High schools have turned into recruitment farms now.
Exactly.
Because a high school coach, if there are no boundaries, he can go to his principal and say, hey, I need this student. And all that principal has to do is declare, oh, we have room.
Exactly.
And so now you have recruitment going on all over the state of Florida. And I find it so funny. I wanted to know if other areas in other states were experiencing that, because it is out of control. Out of control. It's so out of control.
We're still Florida districts now. Up here. And we're still, and in DC, you go to your quote unquote neighborhood school.
Yeah.
Now, some schools have programs that you can apply to get into. Right, let you know somebody with another address. Now they have programs where different high schools have different programs that you can apply to get into. But those slots fill up so quickly, like it's like, oh my gosh. And then there's a lottery system, which is just ridiculous. That's a whole nother problem. But the county that I work in is definitely certain high schools you can apply to get into, and you live in certain areas. And of course, people use fake addresses to get into the schools they want to get into. That still goes on very much so. But no, I didn't realize they had gotten rid of districts. That's interesting. That's an
interesting thing is, this was their way to try to say, oh, we're going to be equitable.
Right.
We're going to make it where, it doesn't matter where you live. No more school of choice and no more all of this, that, and the third. You can send your child to every school. Yeah, that sounds real nice. But what that means is the rich are going to get richer and the poor are going to get poor.
Right.
Because every parent that has an option going to say, well, I ain't going to send my child to this school around the neighborhood that ain't got the same resources. And they're going to send their child to a school that they think does have the resources. Mind you, you're pulling resources from the school that already didn't have resources. And it just perpetuates itself.
Go on and on and on.
Just a whole mess.
It sounds like it. All right, Teddy. Well, I'll call you a little bit later. Let
me get off.
Yeah, because I'm getting ready to get off of here anyway.
Hey, Faith.
Hey, what's going on, Teddy?
Bye, Teddy.
Hey. Bye.
Yeah, because we can get off of here anyway. Because like I told you guys, I still have lesson plans I have to do. So yes, lesson plans. I got to get ready for because contrary to popular belief, I don't just stand in front of the classroom every day and go, so what y'all want to learn today? Like actually, plan these things.
So you got to work.
Work. That's why I wasn't sitting a lot. I said a lot. Anyway, you guys. But y'all been hanging with us for a little while this afternoon. We appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a little over 2 hours.
And 2 whole shows.
2 shows, exactly. We got 2 for the price of 1. Let's see what the chat is talking about before we get out of here. It's programming, keeping the dumb child dumb and keeping the smart child smart. Exactly.
Through affirmations.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, it's going to be at all our school hopping. Yeah, with the Florida thing. That's crazy. I got to think about that. Yeah, Illinois doesn't do it either. Here you can use your portion of the bus transportation to go to another school, but they don't tell you this. Oh, so
where is here?
Yeah, where's here? Lynn doing the do. So when school numbers go down, what happens to those schools who are losing kids left and right? That's when they come up with excuses to close the schools.
Right.
That's what they do.
So you're looking at where the next condo is going to be.
You too, Lynn, doing the do.
Massachusetts. Oh.
I had fun. Thank you for my day going by. No problem, Jaden. You have fun with them colonizers now. Oh, you in Massachusetts. Okay. Let me know if you want to go live, Jaded. I'll come through. Because I'm getting ready to go home and give myself a good 2 hours to focus on getting some work done. Right. Sure. The rich schools are going to start pulling good players for the poor schools. Yeah, they are. And then if you're not a sports player, you're going to be stuck at the quote-unquote bad school. It's a mess. That's a mess, Florida. Tell some stories, Jade. Jade does story time. He tells some funny stories. And Jade, I think
colonizer stories.
I wanted to get you and L. Teddy's opinion on online charter schools. I'm gonna tell you now, my opinion on charter schools is 99.9% of the time is not gonna be favorable. And online, I'm not a real big fan of online school either.
That's what they've been advertising on. I've seen it on TV.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there isn't elementary school. Yeah, I'm not saying that there isn't a place for kids to go to an online school. There are some kids that it probably works for. I'm not going to say that, but for me, I'm just going to say most of the time it's probably not going to be favorable for a charter school and not for an online school. But I definitely can ask El Teddy.
You're really doing the teaching classes pull down?
Shut up.
You really.
Yeah, Jamila, I gotta go home and get these lesson plans done. The good news is I really only have to prepare like one lesson plan because it's the first day of school. I have lesson plans, but I need to just twerk. I was gonna say twerk them. I need to tweak them. There'll be no twerking. I need to just tweak them and do a couple of things. And shut up. I just need to tweak them a little bit. But I mean, I kind of know what I'm doing. Not kind of. I know what I'm doing.
So El Teddy says 95% of charter schools are the devil.
I see. Yeah. I mean, me and El Teddy agree on that one. And we would really have to get into a deep. See, El Teddy, we're gonna add that to the list. Me and El Teddy are working on something for you guys. We're working on something for you guys.
I mean, could you?
Not levitated cakes. You said could we? Yeah, we're working on something. We're gonna El Teddy and I are working on something to bring to you guys. We bringing up some good questions that really we could talk on. So we're going to work on some things.
One thing which had the whole No Child Left Behind, but they all being left behind.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what we're dealing with now is the byproduct of No Child Left Behind, which was horrible.
Was terrible.
Horrible. Facing that. And on that note, we out. Thank you guys. I'll be back later on tonight because we got our book club. Today is the first day of book club. So I'll be back later on tonight to discuss book club, okay? For those who want to join, those who can join. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much.
Later. Bye.
The PO want to know who flirt with you. Come on in. Hey.